Guys, welcome to the heart of Texas. We are here outside of DKR on the corner of Smokies Midway and Bevo Boulevard. She's Emily Jean Greco. He's Jake Garcia. I'm Jeff Jones. And I think I speak for all three of us when I say we are excited about the conference schedule starting for the Longhorns here in a few moments. Inside this stadium, we'll see Texas take on Oklahoma State. And Jake, usually we're used to seeing the Longhorns have the most high-powered offense on the field. That may or may not be the case today.
That's exactly right, because not only is OK State very talented on the offensive end, but through 3 games on the season, they have the nation's leading wide receiver in Tylan Wallace, the nation's leading rusher in Chuba Hubbard. And so talking with coaches and players earlier this week, it's a double-edged sword. If you try and commit safety help to stop Tylan Wallace, Chuba Hubbard's going to beat you up the middle. You try and load the box and stop Chuba Hubbard, Tylan Wallace is going to beat you deep. So how do the Longhorns go about stopping these 2 playmakers? It's not to focus on just one of them, rather a more all-around, well-rounded approach.
I've used the phrase before, you know, it's the scene from Armageddon, right? Scariest environment imaginable. That's all you had to say, scariest environment imaginable. So, you know, they've got the nation's leading rusher. They've got an All-American wide receiver. It's going to be a challenge, for sure.
So the nation's leading rusher and the nation's leading receiver. Clearly this offense is high-powered, and they're led by a quarterback who some Texas high school fans may find familiar. Emily, tell us about this familiar face.
Spencer Sanders, both him and Ellinger were AP Texas Players of the Year. Ellinger back in 2015, Sanders back in 2017. So these two going head-to-head is going to be a matchup for the entire state of Texas, because like Jeff said, people are familiar with both of their faces. So here's what Sam Ellinger had to say about the Oklahoma State quarterback.
From what I've seen on TV, like when we're just in the hotel and they were playing a few weeks ago, extremely explosive, athletic, fast guy, a great quarterback from what I've seen and what I've heard. So, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of information on him or analyzed his game, but he looks very capable to be a great quarterback.
Yeah, the Cowboys have a good quarterback, but I think the Longhorns have a great one. Sam Ellinger has given this team a whole bunch of confidence. You know, he is the reason that every time Texas steps on the field, they believe they're going to win. Earlier this week, we talked to head coach Tom Herman, and he said this year's team is as confident of a group as he's seen since he's been here in Austin.
Yeah, the confidence level is as high as it's been and should be because of how hard and how well these guys have trained. And yeah, I think the first couple years there was, I think we're going to win, and instead of, hey, we put in the work, we've had a great week of preparation, we go out and play our best, we're going to win.
Yeah, to go from I think I'm going to win to I know I'm going to win, well, that's a big jump. Speaking of winning against this team, well, it hasn't happened often for the Longhorns. Last year, the game did not end the way that Longhorns fans wanted it to. It was a 3-point loss, and Jake, there were plenty of memorable moments in that game.
Yeah, the last 20 seconds provided many of those memorable moments. You saw Breckenhager trying to get chippy towards the end of it when Oklahoma State was taking the knee. You saw Mike Gundy, Oklahoma State's head coach, come out onto the field and try to talk to Breckenhager, and then you saw Tom Herman, I guess, kind of blitz rush Mike Gundy, and there was definitely some chippiness at the end of it. Texas hasn't forgotten it. Oklahoma State hasn't forgotten it. The Longhorns looking to beat Oklahoma State for the first time in 5 tries here in Austin.
It was tough, especially when you know, the key for our defense is make a team as one-sided as possible, and the fact that they were able to do what they wanted, run the ball or throwing the ball, made it really hard for Coach Orlando to call certain calls, and it was tough because they have a really good offensive line. The receiving core is really good. They've always had really good running backs and a quarterback that can do his job and get the ball where it needs to be.
Yeah, so last year's Texas defense kind of got beaten up by Oklahoma State. This year's Texas defense hopes that they are up to the challenge. If you're looking down the box score from last year, a name you don't see is Joseph Osai, but he is not only playing for this year's Texas team, he is making a big, big difference. Emily, the players just raved about him earlier this week.
They did. I mean, the linebacker is, leading in sacks and interceptions for the Longhorns. So he's obviously going to make a huge difference on the field, which will hopefully give Texas that win over Oklahoma State, because like we just talked about, they've had struggles with that in the past. Here's what the players had to say about Osai.
Joe, freaking nature. You see him everywhere on the field. And the fact that he runs to the ball, really the whole defense runs to the ball.
Just a young guy that's hungry, a guy that's bringing extra energy when he's out there on the field, flying around, getting better and better every week. I think the sky's the limit for that guy.
All right, so we've chatted about offense, we've chatted about defense. Now it's time to focus on some special teams. All of us saw Cameron Dicker, the Texas kicker, hit that 57-yard career-long field goal against Rice last week. We had a chance to actually chat with Cameron earlier this week, which doesn't happen often, and he produced one of my favorite sound bites of the week when he told us his secret to mustering up the strength to perform in pressure-packed moments. Take a listen.
I like to just stay confident and trust myself in everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And just kind of go through knowing that every kick's the same no matter what the situation is, and having the team know that they love you no matter what happens is just like a big thing that makes it easy for me.
Yeah, so if that's how calm your kicker is, you know that sense of cool, calm confidence spreads all throughout the locker room. For Emily and Jake, I'm Jeff. You guys feel free to follow us on Twitter. Here, a look at our Twitter handles. You have at Emily John Greco, at Jeff Jones Sports, and at Jake_M_Garcia. We will be live tweeting from the sidelines, press box, and the studio all throughout this game. We'll see you later.